Yeah, it's bullshit that my kids have to get a roommate in order to buy a house.
It is bullshit that your kid has to get a roommate to get a house.
Yeah, that's so different now. That's such a higher factor than what it used to be.
Yeah, because no one's ever gotten a boarder to help cover bills
Yeah. Because you
ever.
posted you posted that one thing, I don't know, was on TikTok. You seem to get a lot of attraction, a lot of engagement on TikTok, and somebody said that it's bullshit
Yeah,
that my kid has to get a roommate in order to buy a house, but that's what it's a border. It's been around for a couple millennia.
there is an actual guideline
Yeah.
in the handbook
Yeah.
that talks about how to treat border income when qualifying for a mortgage.
Border income.
Yeah. Now it's got to be established. It's not like it can be something new,
Yeah.
but it goes to tell you that if Fannie Mae has a guideline that speaks about border income, that should lead us to believe it's been around for so long, it's an actual guideline. So when people look at buying a new property, but they're not sure about that affordability factor,
Yeah.
they could consider getting a roommate, family member, whoever to help cover those costs of getting into the property. It's not something new. As a matter of fact, I was thinking about that conversation that we had and thinking about several comments that I've personally been getting on this. Do you remember that thing called Craigslist?
Yep.
That's where you used to be able to go to find, like, remember when we were younger
Yeah.
and it's like, if you're really kind of tight, money's really bad, you could go on Craigslist and you could find someone that had a house that
Yep.
had a room to rent.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll tell you what though, the rooms right now, rooms to rent are expensive as well.
What
Well,
are you seeing out there?
I'm seeing some rooms where you don't even have your own kitchen or your own,
Right?
right?
Just a room.
Just the room, 700-800 bucks.
Yep.
Um,
I have
I would
a friend
love
of
to
mine.
charge my kid that.
Well, right. But I have a friend of mine who was in that situation,
Mhm.
found a guy who was renting out his basement for $1,000
Yeah.
a month.
Yeah.
The kitchen is shared, but the downstairs is all his. He has his own bathroom and all that, living room down there and those types of things. So it's a little bit more, but it's not as uncommon as I think people think. And I don't know if
Agreed.
that's Generation Z or the millennials, but I know growing up, there was times when we would have someone staying with us. It
Yeah.
wasn't all the time. It doesn't mean
Yeah.
it's permanent, but to get a start, that's an awesome thing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not a new thing. And you do that multi-generational thing, multi-generational families. You got the in-laws moving in with you, or you've got your kids moving in with you and their families. I know of plenty of households that have uh, three generations living in there.
Yeah.
You know, that's not something that I don't know if it's an American thing where it's where it's kind of a if you're having multiple generations or multiple families in one house, how it's a negative thing or a stigma or something like
I
that. But
I think you're right. I think especially for the multi-generational aspect of lending, we are starting to see it more.
yeah, for sure.
And when we talked about this earlier, it is kind of interesting because when I look at my client base that are multi-generational,
Mhm.
meaning mom and dad are buying the house with one of the kids
Mhm.
and their significant other.
Yep.
When I look at those, I right now it's kind of everybody. It's almost like it's making that type of a comeback a little bit, whereas before it was your Asian cultures, your Hispanic cultures, people that were I would say have more of that newness,
Yeah.
right? They're newer immigrants. They're
New
not
arrivals.
as
Yeah.
Americanized.
Yeah. Yeah. Because once you get into that second, or once you get into that third, for sure, third and fourth generation, like buying a house um, on one income or even on one family, one couple is more the thing. And it seems kind of weird when you do it seems out of place when you do the multi-generational, which is not unheard of at all when you have new arrivals, when you have first generation Latinos or Pan Asian or whatever uh,
Right.
cultures coming in, because that's what's normal outside. That's what's normal outside of these borders.
Right. You see a lot of cultures living together.
Yeah,
And right now, a lot of people, they're living together anyways. They're renting something together. Why not buy together?
that's a good
I think
point.
would be more of an idea to me, and putting that money towards something good, because I'm thinking if I'm a parent, let's just kind of think about it for a little bit. If I'm a
Yeah,
parent and my job's not that great
yeah,
and my kids have kids, right? So I'm a grandparent. Maybe it's a good opportunity where I can maybe work part-time, help with the kids, or if they're not having kids yet, we can still kind of make it work. So then when they do have kids, I'm there to help
yeah,
raise those kids. So
yeah.
it could be like a built-in nanny in a way as
Yep.
well. Even if that parent isn't going on the mortgage, you could essentially look at stretching your budget a little bit to accommodate for that. If that parent is going to be, if you don't, let's say you don't have childcare costs because your parents living with you,
Yeah.
they're picking up the utilities, they're
There is
picking up
contribution.
their contribution, right? So there's not as much pressure on someone to pick up all those bills,
Correct.
I think, which is something people need to pay attention to.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I've noticed even more and more is people are starting to be more willing to look at what I call a suburb of a suburb.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
Well, think about our people and where they live,
Yeah.
and then where are they actually buying?
Yeah.
They're not buying. So for us in Minnesota, let's just talk about south of the river. Let's say they want to live in Burnsville,
Yeah.
but good luck.
Yeah.
So now maybe they're looking more like a Jordan
Yeah.
area, which would be a suburb
Yeah.
of Burnsville. So it's not that far away from the actual suburb of where you might be working
Correct.
and going to school. You
I
can still accomplish
remember,
both.
I remember, and it was not that long ago, it felt like, speaking of south of the river, it felt like Rosemont and Farmington were a lifetime away, man. Like you actually had to pack your bags.
Well, not too long ago. How long ago did I move to Hastings? Was it
Yeah.
2002?
Yeah. 2002. Or even when you were in Cannon Falls.
Yeah.
When you were in Cannon Falls, it blew me away. I went to go visit you. Or no, yeah, I went to go somewhere down
For
there.
context, for context, Cannon Falls is 4,500 people strong,
Yep.
very small, nothing else really by it.
Yeah. Yes.
Cannon Falls.
Correct. Correct. And it was a 35-minute drive
Right.
because the highways keep getting faster. They keep
They
getting
sure
wider
do.
and they keep getting faster. You can float down that highway at 75 miles an hour almost from the get. And
Yeah.
you're there in no time. And so you can get, because you used to live in Cannon Falls and you could get to
Mhm.
the office in 35 minutes
Yeah. Right to
when you were
downtown St.
downtown
Paul.
St. Paul.
Yep.
So not even a
So,
suburb of St. Paul, downtown St. Paul.
what exactly? Right. So that's, I think if people want to open up their minds a little bit and think
Yeah,
about different creative ways to be able to get into a house, because we do know rents are continuing to go up.
correct.
And when a landlord, I don't know if you know one of those or not, but we both are one. When those new property tax statements come in and we see new homeowners insurance coming in, we
Yeah,
pass that on to a tenant.
correct,
We don't just absorb it,
correct,
we raise rents.
correct. Yeah,
So, it's basically looking at your current situation, if you ask me, and not making the excuses how things are just not affordable.
mhm.
If you're saying things are not affordable, what are you looking at? To be honest with you, are you being unrealistic in what your expectations are for the first home?
Yeah,
And you have to have that 2 bedroom condo that's also a penthouse,
yeah.
has every single amenity. It's
Well,
5 minutes from work, and it's $1,000 a month. I mean,
and
right?
it's a shift, right? Like it's a shift in society, a shift in culture. Because when we talk about, at the same time, I hear people talking about, well, I remember when you could buy a house on one income. Like I get it, right?
Yeah.
Because the strong middle class was had the earning potential to be able to with just one income be able to buy a property, right? Buy a house for their family. At the same time that argument's being put out there, which I totally get, and I do follow the lead, or I do follow the line of the argument
I
of
don't think either
the
one of us are.
disappearing. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think we're saying
no, but at the
it's
same time,
easy.
yeah, no, 100%. In how the middle class is disappearing and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Um, 100% behind that. I see that and stuff like that. But at the same time that argument's being held, it was also in the same generation where you didn't buy a house as a single person. You
Ever.
you bought it because you started a family and you
Yep.
needed
You were
to
married,
you moved out
having
of
the kids,
yeah, you went to college or something like that, or you
got
got your
back from
trade,
the war.
got back from the war, and then yeah, exactly. You started a family, and that's when you bought the house. Otherwise, you were living with mom and dad, and the girl you were courting was living
Yeah.
with her mom and dad, and that's just how that was. So yeah, you're right. That's it's a shift, and so it's a shift in affordability, but
But it's a
having a
very good point because when you do think about the 50s and the 60s, when it was one income buying the house, such a different time.
100%.
I mean, let's be realistic. To try to buy your own house on your very own, it can be done. But when I think about almost all my people that have bought a house on their own, if they're younger, it's a boyfriend and girlfriend
Yep.
buying the house,
Yep.
or it is, and like an example, is either my kid or my kids' friends who are
Yeah.
all buying houses right now. They're all 24, 25 years old. They're buying in the suburbs of the suburbs,
Yeah.
and they either have a buddy that's going to move in with them or their girlfriend is moving in with them
Yeah.
that are going to pay half the mortgage
Yeah.
or they're paying all the utilities.
Yeah.
That's not one person buying a house. Maybe it's one person going on the note and the deed, right? But it's actually two people. However, you want to look at it, it is two people still affording that house so that you both can be in there. And that goes the same way if you're thinking of it as a multi generational aspect, too.
Right.
I think the whole way around it is it's extremely difficult to buy a house on your very own. So if you can look at creative ways because you do want to buy a house that is something that's for you,
Yeah.
looking at the duplex, doing an Airbnb
Yeah.
on your own property.
Airbnb. Yeah.
What did you say that thing was? You host? You're a host?
Yeah, you're a host. You host. Yeah, you share. It's a room.
And
You
you're the
you
hostess with
rent
the
out the
mostess.
the room for one person. Yeah, or for one room. Yeah, absolutely.
You imagine if you had a host, you come down into the kitchen and you got some guy with a high life and a cigarette grilling up bacon. Yeah, almost ready here. That's
Come
that's
get it.
Come get it. Yum, yum, come get some. That'd be great.
I
But these
see
three,
I see that in your future.
oh yeah, out in the country, come stay at my country house. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's exactly right.
I won't have the high life, but
You'll have a chicken in one arm.
yeah, I'd have my chicken under one arm, get a get a dart going, and make some fresh eggs.
There you go.
People will be lining up. But anyways, I think that really kind of solves affordability. Rates are what they are.
Yeah,
They're not going to change.
get
Home
used to 'em.
prices are not going down.
Nope, get used to that.
Speaking of those home prices in your world, I'm seeing multiple offers
Yes.
and I think you are too. Why do you think that is? Why are home prices still going up even though we have a new president and interest rates are not going down?
Mhm.
Why, and we have these people complaining about affordability, which again,
Yep.
I'm complaining about it too. But why are these home prices going up?
It's still inventory.
Yeah.
Still inventory is the main factor. There's just not enough. And so you've got all these folks, you got a combination and the inventory is a couple things. One, not enough people or not enough is getting built, right? And then the other part is people are holding on to their stuff longer because they got the golden handcuffs from 21 and 22.
Yeah, where they got a 3% rate.
And they can't let go. But what we're finding right now, and you're seeing it right now with the multiple offers, is people are tired of waiting. They're not waiting
Yep.
anymore. They 6%, as long as it's got a six in front of it, they're good to go.
Yep.
We just saw listings last week go up year over year, last week go up 23.6% in this market. 23.6% new listings on the market.
Wow.
So people are done waiting. They're putting their houses on the market, and we got buyers, and we're in multiple offer scenarios. Appraisal gaps are being talked about again. Waiving inspections are being talked about again. All of those things, and it's just so. Um, make sure if you're not talking to me or you're not talking to Huddy, make sure that you've got yourself a solid, experienced agent because right now, even with 2024, like 74%, I think was the number. 74% of all real estate agents didn't even have one transaction in 2020.
Isn't that something?
That is absolutely something, which means
It's a lot of people driving Uber.
there's a lot of people that haven't got the experience to win an offer, to help you
Exactly.
negotiate an offer to win that property. So, and it's not always about price.
No.
We just had a listing and that went under contract inside of the weekend, and the highest price didn't win that offer. It was the
What was it that won the offer? What nailed it?
it was part of it was the closing date, and then what they were going to do with the closing date, meaning the seller needed time to be able to stay in that property after closing so that they can move out into the new property. And that was more attractive to them as a term of the negotiations than it was getting the other $3,000 to the bottom line.
Right. So it's always good, like you said, just kind of recap. We know we have affordability issues.
Yep.
They're not going anywhere. So if you're serious about buying a house, we need to be looking at alternative ways to make a home more affordability,
Yep.
including location, how you're going to occupy it, meaning are you going to get a roommate? Are you going to buy a multi-unit? Are you going to Airbnb it? Or do you have a significant other that
What's so
you can
funny is
contribute?
I check off all those boxes.
Yeah.
And so, having to get a roommate so you can buy a house, I mean, it's not a stigma. It's just very much an income thing. And
Well, don't people usually, when they get an apartment, have a roommate,
yeah, yeah,
right?
exactly.
Might as well
So,
be a landlord at the same
get
time.
back on that TikTok and give them what's if.
Well, you know what's
Give
funny
them
though,
the what's
dude?
not.
The last one they were ripping because they're like, well, then you got tenants. You got to be a landlord. It's like, well, if it's a buddy, if it's a buddy of a buddy or someone that you kind of know, it's not as big of a risk.
Yeah.
But you're not like, hey, you don't have a job, you don't even, you're
Yeah.
deadbeat. Yeah, come on, move in. I like you. It'll be great.
I got news for you. Not every renter is a deadbeat,
Yeah,
and not every landlord is a slumlord.
yeah,
Breaking news, breaking
right.
news. News flash, news flash.
Yeah, I am not a slumlord, neither are you. So yeah, so that's great. Multi-generational too, can't forget that. And then inventory. So if you're looking to buy, you have to understand that rates are what they are. Home prices are going up.
Yep.
Really looking at your location is pretty key. And of course, in closing, having someone on your team that is experienced in these type of environments and have been around them can definitely help you and your house hunting goals.
100%. I always tell this to Huddy. In the hands of a lesser loan officer, that would be a problem.
Right?
So
you got a few dandies right now. But yeah.
All right, that's what I got. Keys and closings. Right. I got the keys. Huddy's got the closings.
That's right.